Hello again. I'm bound to say that I'm gaining a great deal of enjoyment from Keir Starmer and his government. It is, of course, quite true that he is the worst Prime Minister in living memory, which is something of an achievement considering the stiff competition for such a title. But it cannot be denied that there is plenty of amusement to be gained from watching the antics of him and his cabinet. The entertainment factor is really off the scale. The latest bout stems from the surprising revelation that his chief of staff is earning more than he is, which is, to say the least of it, an unusual state of affairs. Some people have suggested that this means that Sue Gray is the real power in the land, rather than the Prime Minister himself. Starmer has been swift to deny this, and the BBC this morning carries a news item with the headlines "I'm in control," says Starmer, after Sue Gray pay leaks. I give a link to this in the description to this video. One is irresistibly reminded of Charles Dance's famous line in Game of Thrones: "Any man who must say 'I am the king' is no true king." Nothing can be worse or more damaging for a Prime Minister than even suggesting that it's possible that somebody else might be running the country other than him. The very idea of such a situation causes huge damage if it starts floating around. Who can forget Edward Heath holding an election in 1974 to decide who rules, as he put it? As soon as he asked that question, it was immediately apparent that he was not in charge, and the country took note and voted accordingly. It was always odd seeing the woman who had investigated the COVID rule-breaking parties in Downing Street, whose report helped bring down Boris Johnson, joining the Labour Party and rising to such prominence as the power behind the throne, with Keir Starmer as leader of the opposition. Now that she is more or less running the show at 10 Downing Street, it's even odder. Little wonder then that she is being paid more than the Prime Minister himself, and that he is being forced to assert his authority and remind people that he, rather than Sue Gray, is in charge. And little wonder either that Harriet Harman claims that people's uneasiness about the rise to power of this unelected kingmaker is due to the fact that older women in positions of authority are seen as threatening by younger men.